Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to our very first Max Creative Challenge with our friendly neighborhood Meg Lewis. Hi Meg, welcome.
Hey.
Really good to have you. I know everyone in the chat is really excited to see you as well. If you don't know Meg, Meg's an awesome designer and awesome person, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. First, again, welcome to the first Max Creative Challenge. In the next 25 minutes, Meg is going to be showing us how to do some awesome type layout in Illustrator. But before that, let's check out the schedule for the rest of the day. Cool, so we've had some awesome kind of first takes for Illustrator and Fresco going on so far. We've got Meg with us right now, and you can check out the rest of the streams for the rest of the day. It's pretty self-explanatory, but we're going to be busy for the next couple hours and days. So Meg, welcome again. Would you like to introduce yourself and let us know what you're going to be working on today?
Sure. Hello. My name is Meg Lewis. The reason why I'm here is because I'm a designer, but I also do so much more than that. I do comedy and performance and lots of educational stuff to make the world a happier place. And the reason why I'm here today is because there are, I will say, like any creative person, I'm not good at everything, but there are a few things that I am good at. And one of those things is laying out other people's typefaces in an exciting way that's full of personality. And most importantly, I think it's full of my personality. So today what I want to do is show you all how to inject your personality into typographic compositions of some kind. So whether it's like a conference quote from Adobe Max, or if it's your shopping list, or just any sort of word or sentence that you love.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So we're going to be doing that in Illustrator, right?
Yes, we are. I actually always do this work in Illustrator. I know nothing else. So I'm so happy to work in Illustrator today. And also, just to not confuse, every time I take an Instagram story or anything of my Illustrator window, everyone always says, what app is that? What program is that? And you know why? I think it's because I always have my Illustrator in light mode, and not
classic.
dark mode.
Yes, what year is it?
It's not a cool move, I will say. It's not a crowd pleasing move.
Well, who's to say?
Move.
True. And chat, if you want to take part in this challenge that Meg's going to walk through with us, you can check out the challenge landing page that I think people are posting in the chat pod for you. That's where you can really follow the entire tutorial if we don't get through the entire thing, because the stream is pretty short. You can also check out other challenges that we're going to have throughout the next couple of days. And thank you, Paco, for putting that screen up. If you want to make sure that you're scheduled for the sessions that we're hosting during Max on Adobe Live, go to bit.ly/maxchats2020, capital Max and C in chats, to make sure you don't miss anything. Okay, cool. Back to you, Meg. Let's start out.
Let's get going. Okay, so for this tutorial, and by the way, every time I'm saying tutorial, I'm now saying tutorial. For no reason at all, but
of course
it's something I'm trying to get started, is tutorials. I won't be tooting, I promise. Well, maybe. Anyway, and 30 minutes goes by and Meg doesn't even start. Okay, so what I want to do is start off with just a quote that I like. I am honestly not a quotes person. Sometimes people on the spot ask me what my favorite quotes are, and it's just my least favorite question to be asked because I don't know any quotes off the top of my head. So thinking back to quotes that I might have liked, I thought about this absolutely incredible TED Talk from director Taika Waititi. And in this TED Talk, Taika talks about, wow, What a tongue twister.
Tutorial.
In this TED Talk, Taika talks about his ability to think about his career not necessarily being as a director or a filmmaker. What Taika says is that he thinks of his career as being his brain, and whatever he needs to do to get his brain out into the world, he does that and uses that medium. And that's what I love so much about his career, and that's what I love so much about my career. So I thought I would work from this quote today. So what I like to do, and this is truly my process for doing any typographic layout, is I just start by typing out the copy that I want to use in whatever font. It does not matter. It does not need to look attractive. I just type it out at first to make sure that it has to see the words on the page and to see what the length of the words, what the amount of copy is looking like on the canvas. And I am a serial sort of copier and paster of artboards. So if you ever look at my, Illustrator file of any kind, it's just repeated copied and pasted artboards with like little tiny changes on each one. I like to see my process go linearly throughout, and I like to be able to revert back to any of my versions. So what I do is I just start out with this. I just type it out, and then after I type it out, I will then create some sort of hierarchy. I don't change the typeface yet. I don't change the font of any kind. I don't add color. I don't do anything. I just slowly start to create hierarchy in some sort of way, so I know what blocks of copy and what blocks of type I'm going to be working with in this composition. So here I decided I wanted this, my job is to express myself and share my ideas and my point of view. I wanted that to be the main call out copy on this design. And then these other two bits of text, I wanted to be secondary to that. So that's all I did here, was just start to create some hierarchy. So I promise I will actually live design in a moment. I just wanted to get this nonsense out of the way, because the next step before I show you that, don't get too excited. The next part, and this is where you at home should be following along, because this is the part where you and I get different. So what I do at this point, and what I recommend you do, is I start to think about how I can create a unique typographic composition that might be different than anybody else could create. And that's the hard part. As creative people, as designers, it's incredibly frustrating and difficult to try and create something that is unlike something that anyone has created before. And I'm constantly just like, how do I make something with everything has already been made? And
I feel you.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So what I like to do, and I definitely encourage everybody to do this, is I like to take all of the parts of my personality that make me unique and put visuals to each of those things. And even though those things, we might have personality traits in common, you and I will say we're both a little weird.
All of us, or just you and I?
I think everybody is, honestly.
Yeah.
So, but if you combine all of your personality traits and visuals together, it's going to create a person, which is you, who's unlike anybody else in the world. And the same thing goes for this exercise. So what I like to do is I like to just type out 3 different personality traits that make me who I am. So I'm going to start with the fact that I'm weird. The second one that I want to do, and I like to create 3 different personality types or traits that are pretty different from one another. So another one is that I am introspective. I'm weird, but I'm introspective, which I think is unique to me because those things are kind of different from one another. And I'm also very playful. Okay, so for the purposes of this exercise, we're just going to do 3. We could add 10, 20, 30. We're all very complex people, but for this, we don't have much time. So let's just do 3.
Cool, sounds good.
So these are 3 completely different parts of my personality that have always been true about me ever since I was a little teeny tiny baby. And I was a very introspective baby. So what I do now is I go out and I try to find some Adobe fonts or whatever fonts you have on your computer that visually represent those personality traits. So I did all of the hard work already before this, and I found some fonts that I really liked that I think represent these, and I put them in a CC library that's available to download, which I'm sure will pop into the chat.
Yes.
And so I will be working from this a lot as we go through the tutorial. This is the library that I'm working through, which I've inserted. And now you can all go out and copy and become Meg impersonators if you want to, because this is my color palette. These are the fonts I'm going to be using, and these are my shapes. You now have the ability to use my official shapes.
Licensed shapes.
Okay, so what I've done here is I've picked out 3 fonts. So for weird, I found this extremely delightful typeface called Dazzle Unicase. And the reason why I think she's so weird is that, look at her. She's got like capitals and lower cases, but they're all the same height. What a goofball. She's like a regular old geometric sans serif, but made a little bit weirder. Mm-hmm. And I like that too. So for introspective, I believe this is what the font is showing up as already, but this is, I found Span, which is like pretty like serious, pretty inward looking serif font. I think it's delightful. And then for playful, I found one of my favorite typefaces, which is called Chi with 3 E's.
Chi.
And Chi is a delight. Very playful for sure. So these are the 3 typefaces that I'm going to be using for these compositions. And this is the hard part, right? Is whenever we're working with type, we find one typeface that we love. And then we're like, well, shoot, what do I pair with this bad boy? How do I find something that's going to look nice with it? That's not going to be weird and awkward. And for this exercise, I'm telling you to embrace the weird and awkward, because putting typefaces together that nobody normally puts together is truly how you make something that looks like anything that exists, right? Okay, so here I have these 3 typefaces, and I don't think they look great together. I'm just gonna say that for sure. I like them individually, but I'm not sure if I like them together, but I'm gonna make it work. That's part of this challenge, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I do after this point, just gonna toss that over there, is I move on to just translating that existing sort of artboard that I had over there with these new typefaces, right? So I have Span here. I've got our Dazzle Unicase in these 2 spots. And then my call out type, I'm going to put in Chi. And so this, again, we've got hierarchy here, and we have even more hierarchy whenever I added express myself with Chi. I will express myself with Chi all day long. Okay, so we're getting there. We're starting to add personality, but it's still quite boring. It's just words typed on a page. And now here's the thing about being a designer who arranges other people's typefaces for a living. It is hard. It is hard to take just type that's typed out and make it look really nice and polished. And I think a lot of creative people, and non-creatives for sure, we know this, is that they look at compositions that are just words just typed out using somebody else's typeface, and you think, oh, that looks really easy to make. That must have not taken that person very much time. And you're shaking your head no. And I get that comment about my work all of the time, is people will say that either as a backhanded compliment or just to be rude, of saying like, someone told me recently that they didn't understand why anyone liked my work because it looked so easy to make.
Oh, it makes me shudder.
But that's the thing, is like, you start out, you type it out on your artboard here, and it doesn't look good. It takes a lot of rearranging, a lot of manipulating type, a lot of changing a lot of different things in different ways in order to make it really look like something special. And definitely earlier on in my career, when I was in sort of a hurry and I wanted to design things quickly, maybe if I had a client or a boss that I was trying to impress, I think we think working quickly and turning something over fast is going to impress people the most. But then you end up turning over something that looks like this because you're just doing it quickly, rather than taking the time to arrange things over and over again for like 2 hours until you get something that looks extra spectacular. So now let's get into the time where I arrange things for hours and hours on end, or also known as 15 minutes, because that's all the time we have.
Right. More like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, we don't have 15 minutes. We have 10 minutes.
Time lapse.
Yeah, I wish I could work as fast as a time lapse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to kind of walk through a few different methods that I used to customize typefaces and to make them look exciting and interesting. And so in order to do that, I'm designing in real time now. This is what I do. I press Shift O to bring up my artboards. I can move around. I do that a lot. I like to arrange them pleasingly sometimes. And what I do is I just drag that over, copy it, make myself a new one, zoom in on that little buddy. And now I'm just going to make this type look more exciting. So I'm just going to bop that out of the way. So what I want to do here, I think, is I want to make at least this top line that says at the moment I happen to be, I'm going to make that kind of an arch. So that way it's kind of hugging the rest of the type composition. That's what I like my work to feel like. All the types just touching and hugging and being best friends with one another, which is all I want to do right now is touch people, but I can't.
Do it with your type.
I like to touch people with my type.
Quote Meg Lewis.
Yeah, if you want to use that as your typographic composition quote, please do.
Yeah, and just speaking of that really quick, chat, if you do make your own quote from the conference or from Meg, make sure you post it on social with hashtag Max Creative Challenge, because the Adobe social teams are going to be highlighting a few of them and reposting them. So we really want to see your work as you make it. Cool.
Heck yes. Okay, so now I have some arched type. It's in the wrong typeface though, so I'm going to snag this one. There she is.
Easy.
I'm gonna put it up there like so. And in case you missed it, I just made a circle and then I did type on path tool, my old trusty standby. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now I'm just going to maybe actually also add filmmaker here to really fill out the rest of the canvas. And then I'm just gonna type the rest of that chunk below, which says, but it's not my job.
Perf.
Okay, centering that there. Okay, so we're getting something happening. It's looking ever so slightly more interesting. And now let's do some additional effects. Okay, so I want to share with you one of my other favorites to do, which is to make things look three-dimensional. So this is a classic Meg maneuver here. So all I do is make the fill white and the stroke black. And then I amp up the chunkiness of that stroke. Just dial it up, dial it up. That seems good. Let's go 9 points because I don't like to be conventional. I'm not going to go with a full 10.
Or 8.
And then I just want to let you know on a little Meg sad truth is that I can never remember where anything is, and I've never taken the time to figure it out. I think 3D is here. Oh, I knew I went right to it, but I always go to help and I just type 3D.
That's what it's there for.
Yeah, and I'm just like, just somebody else show me where it is. I do it every time. I'm telling you, admitting it to normalize how much I need help. Okay, so here is the 3D extrude and bevel. This is what we're looking at here. And I have a go-to setting right here. Let me tell you what it is. It's 0. It's 0. It's 10, maybe 13 sometimes if I'm feeling naughty. And then I go down here to no shading. I don't want shading. Oh, I just did that wrong. I just had a moment. It's actually 10, 0.
No 13.
No. It's 10, 0, and then no shading. And then I go here to this extrude depth, and I just go hog wild. Oh, should we go? Oh, let's do more. Okay.
Whoa.
Let me go up to like 304. Perfect. And then I just press a simple OK. Thank you, 3D Extrude and Bevel, for doing all the work. See, now we're getting more interesting. Woohoo! And this is still editable at this point, so I could edit the crap out of it if I wanted to. And then again, I'm going to do some more special Meg magic. And I'm going to also put this Express Myself on a couple of different little loop-de-loops and make it look real nice for you. Okay, so we're gonna go back here to my best friend in the whole wide world, type on a path tool. And I'm gonna type, oh, excuse me, you're down here. Okay.
Sometimes it's a little squirrely.
Sometimes it is. You really never know what's gonna happen when you're typing on a path. And I think that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, Adobe really got freeform with this one.
It's a wild ride and I love it. Ooh, yes. Okay. I'm just gonna move that to wherever I want it to be. I want it to be right there right now. That's just express. We have to express myself now. Again. Okay. Get that out of there. And now I'm gonna type on a path again and who knows where it will be.
Whoa, everywhere.
Myself. Oh, it's up there now. What a treat. Okay.
Just a heads up, Meg, we've got about 3 minutes left.
Don't worry.
So I'm just
going to drag this in because we want it to be sort of down here-ish. Okay, great. Close enough. And now we just doodly-doo and doobity-bop, scat ourselves away. Skiddly-boop-bop, something like that. Oh, I quite like it. Let's clean these up, get those out of there. Okay, so then if we had more time, I would put this on an arch. I'd add more shapes. But what I do after this point is whenever you're making the type look a little bit more interesting, but you're still in black and white, then I ask myself, once that's ready and I'm trying to add color, is how can I communicate those 3 parts of my personality even more through the design? So how can I show that I'm weird, that I'm playful, and that I'm introspective with this composition? And I just add things that I think are weird, introspective, and also playful into the design. So that's when a lot of my shapes come into play because I think they're super weird and playful. The introspection part is usually with the subject matter that I'm working with. So I like to be very introspective through the content that I'm educating people on or whatever the message is of the work that I'm doing. So I often like to mix those parts of my personality together through visuals and the actual meat of what I'm trying to communicate. And so let's go down to the finished product. Like a cooking show, I just open the oven and here's my perfect loaf. So as you can see, we've got the curved type there. We've got my beautiful 3-dimensional type here and then curved type down here. Shape it up, baby. And then to add a little bit more flair, if you will, then I just like to circle things, underline things, and that's the end of the story.
And boom, it's done. And now you can share it. #MaxCreativeChallenge.
That's right.
Wow, Meg, this was a wild ride and I'm so glad we got to go on it together.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and chat has been loving it. A lot of people in chat want to see more of you doing more live streams. But before that happens, where can people find you on the internet?
On the internet, my URL is meglewis.com. Or if you want to tweet me or tag me or touch me on the internet, my social media handle is @yourbuddy_Meg.
Cool. I think that's very fitting for you. Our new buddy Meg is going to pop out of here in just a moment, but chat, please go follow Meg on the internet and don't forget to post your work at #MaxCreativeChallenge. Maybe we can check out the schedule one more again before the stream ends. Right after us, we've got first takes on photography coming up. Very nice. A little bit of a palette change from our Illustrator goodness, and then stick around for the rest of the day and tomorrow and the next day as well for more XD. But yeah, Meg, anything last minute that you want to share with people? Anything that you're working on these days that you want to promote?
Yeah, I have a online shop finally coming this Thursday. Yes, so if you go to meglewis.com on Thursday, you're going to see all kinds of prints and tees and stuff to tickle your body and your home.
I can't wait. I got a birthday coming up. Maybe I'll have to go get tickled at the shop. On that note, we are going to pop out of here. Thank you again, Meg, and we will see you all soon in a couple minutes for photography. Ta-ta!